The harsh reality is that most real estate investors lose the deal in the first 60 seconds of a cold call. The instinct is to try to impress the property owner with your experience, or to immediately convince them to sell you their park. But those goals telegraph desperation and inexperience. Your only objective when picking up the phone is to determine if alignment exists between what you want to buy and why the owner might eventually want to sell. Today, we are going to walk through the exact word-for-word framework that professional operators use to control these conversations. Treating this first interaction as an evaluation rather than a sales pitch is the core mindset shift that separates amateurs from professionals. Before you dial, take exactly 5 minutes to pull up basic property facts, review the owner's history, and clarify your own buying criteria. Uncertainty on the phone kills trust instantly. This document outlines the exact energy you need: calm, direct, and neutral. Think of yourself as a doctor doing an intake assessment. You are gathering information to see if you can help, rather than acting like a salesperson trying to hit a quota. There are 3 toxic attitudes that will ruin this intake process: desperation, overconfidence, and speaking in hyper-technical jargon. Desperation is the most common trap. It sounds like talking too fast, over-explaining yourself, or agreeing with every word the owner says. This signals that you need the deal, which completely inverts the power dynamic. An owner might forgive a clumsy question about lot count. If they sense the wrong energy, they will immediately find an excuse to hang up. When they answer, use this exact phrasing: "Hi, I'll keep this brief. I was calling about your mobile home park on Main Street. Did I catch you at an okay time for a quick question?" Every word there has a purpose. Stating, "I'll keep this brief," respects their time. Naming the specific street location proves you have done your homework and aren't just a telemarketer dialing from a mass list. If they agree to chat, you move immediately to the pivot question shown here. You ask, "I came across your property doing some research. Just curious, is that something you'd ever consider selling, or is it more of a long-term hold?" Based on how they answer that single question, they will fall into one of 4 categories: the guarded operator, the proud builder, the fatigued owner, or the analytical seller. Recognizing which of these 4 profiles you are speaking to within the first 60 seconds tells you exactly how to adjust your pacing and tone for the remainder of the call. From there, apply this 10-question sequence, starting with lot count and rent. Adjust delivery based on the seller. If they mention private utilities or capital expenses, ask follow-ups about condition and history. Notice this rule on using silence. Silence is a tactical tool. After you ask a difficult question about price or property problems, you stop talking. Count 3 full seconds in your head. The amateur instinct is to fill the dead air with nervous chatter, but you must resist that urge. The person who talks first loses leverage. That uncomfortable quiet space is exactly where the owner will often volunteer the truth about their pain points and real motivations. Eventually, owners will test you by asking what you are willing to pay. Guessing a number before you know the actual income and expenses guarantees you will either overpay or offend them. Instead, you deflect by saying, "I'd rather understand the full picture before throwing out a number. Accuracy matters more than speed." This positions you as diligent rather than evasive. As the call wraps up, apply the soft close. No conversation ends without a defined next action. For strong interest, ask to send a preliminary offer. Even with a hard no, secure permission to check back in 6 months. Vague promises to stay in touch kill momentum. Concrete timelines and specific commitments create the accountability required to move a deal forward. You now have a complete, battle-tested framework to navigate an off-market conversation from the opening seconds to the final sign-off. It all comes down to this formula: your tone, plus your questions, plus your strategic use of silence equals control over the negotiation. Respecting their time builds trust. High-pressure sales tactics will backfire, and bringing clear next steps is what closes deals. So take 5 minutes to review your questions, center your mindset into that neutral evaluator state, and dial the phone. Systematic preparation and disciplined execution are the drivers of a sustainable, scalable real estate acquisition business.